Chapter 7, On the Footsteps of Mahatma, or Following Mahatma, Part 1. In this chapter, we'll be talking about Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, or you can say Mahatma Gandhi. He was also recognized as Bapu, the father of the nation. He was the greatest human ever. He went to South Africa to practice law after he acquired the degree of barrister. In South Africa during that period, the white had established a supremacy over the black natives of South Africa. Compared to the whites, the Indians enjoyed very few rights. Gandhiji protested against this insults and injustice, and he discovered the new path of truth and non-violence, which was later known as Satyagraha. In order to fight against the injustice, he used truth and non-violence. During the struggle in South Africa, Mahatma Gandhi initiated the leadership. And Indians suffered a lot during the struggle, but they never responded with violence. And at the end, the struggle became the successful and popular. In this picture, you can see the founders of Natal Congress, Durban, South Africa, 1895. So in order to protest against the racial discrimination, means the blacks and white discrimination, Gandhiji and other Indians established the Natal Indian Congress in 1895 in South Africa. Now, after the successful fight through Satyagraha in South Africa, Gandhiji returned to India in 1915 at the age of 46 years. And he was welcomed wholeheartedly to Mumbai Apollo port. Then later on, Gopal Krishna Gokhale asked Gandhiji to tour around the whole of India for at least first years. And he went for touring the country for a year, and through this Gandhiji established Satyagraha Ashram in Kocharab, Gujarat on 25th May 1925. And after a year, the ashram was shifted to the banks of the river Sabarmati, which is now known as the Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad. The first Satyagraha was Champaran Satyagraha in 1917. Now, Champaran was a place in Bihar near Nepal in Himalaya. It was famous for plantation. Now, what did the European landlords do? They forced the farmers to produce indigo on 3/20th portion of the land and sell it for lower price. Now, the request of Rajkumar Shukla, Gandhiji decided to inquire about the issue. And before he could start, the magistrate of Champaran asked Gandhiji to leave the district immediately. But Gandhiji disrespected this notice. Then later on, Gandhiji prepared a list of problems of farmers and presented it before the British government. Gandhiji stayed in Mutihari village of Champaran and fought for these issues. Ultimately, Satyagraha arrested the attention of people all over the country. Next is the Khera Satyagraha, 1917 to 1918. Now, Kheda was a district which experienced heavy rainfall in the year 1917. It is a place situated in Gujarat. And during 1917, there was famine and the agriculture production was destroyed. But still, the British government, even after the district had faced famine, they had to pay their taxes. And they tried to collect the tax from the farmers. Under the leadership of Gandhiji, the farmers started Satyagraha, and Britishers were asked to bring about certain changes in the revenue system. So what they did is, They told that poor farmers whose condition is not good to be waived out from the revenue or the tax payment, and the farmers who were rich enough could pay the taxes accordingly. At the end, the collector passed an order for the same in 1918 and the movement was successful. Now, the movement of Satyagraha of Kheda was not important from result point of view, but was important from the viewpoint of principles. There was new reformation or awakening among the farmers. The farmers became fearless, and the nation recognized the devoted and committed leaders like Gandhiji and Vallabhbhai Patel. Next was the Rowlatt Act, or you can also say as Rowlatt Satyagraha in 1919. England was victorious in the World War I, and Rowlatt Act was enforced by Britishers. According to the Rowlatt Act, any individual could be arrested without giving any reason and he could be sent to court for further case proceedings. Now, this act was a total control over the fundamental rights to expression and freedom of speech. And this act gave more power and rights to British officials. Now, protesting against this act, Gandhiji called it as the Black Act. And what was Rowlatt Satyagraha? Rowlatt Satyagraha was the first struggle of Indians against Britishers. But it was only limited to the big cities. Processions were taken out against this act. Throughout the country, strikes started and Britishers started taking cruel steps to curb this movement. Because of this, it led to Jallianwala massacre. Now, as a part of the protest against the Rowlatt Act, people of Punjab, they announced strike on 30th March and 6th April. And the condition of Amritsar was almost out of control. So it was handed over to the military force. So they organized a meeting on 30th April, that is day of Baisakhi in Jallianwala Bagh. They wanted to pay the tribute to the martyrs and they also wanted to protest against the arrest of Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Kichla. So around 10,000 people had gathered in this meeting. Now the General Dyer, he started firing on people who were sitting without weapons. And this silent meeting were without any prior notice or warning, they fired the people there. The soldiers started firing bullets from the high walls. Now, General Dyer continued firing. There was 371 deaths and 1,200 were injured. But in reality, the number was more than the mentioned. Ultimately, Gandhiji lost faith completely towards Britishers in terms of justice and commitment. Now, people made a lot of efforts of Hindu-Muslim unity during this Rowlatt Act Satyagraha. Gandhiji wanted Hindu and Muslim to cooperate together to accomplish a justified objective. Same for that, he led to Caliphate movement. Now, after the victory of friendly nations in the First World War, the victorious nation signed a treaty with Turkey, which had been defeated, that the Sultan of Turkey, who was also the religious head of Islam at that time, had to give up his Khilafat post. And this brought a protest against this treaty and also started in India, and it was supported by the brother Maulana Saqut Ali and Maulana Muhammad Ali, and it was known as the Khilafat movement. Gandhiji supported this because he wanted to bring about the cooperation of Hindu-Muslim community. Next one was the non-cooperation movement. As the word suggests, it was not cooperating with the British rule. He had written in Hind Swaraj 1909 that the British could establish their rule in India only because of the cooperation of Indians, and it ran with their support only. So he told them to withdraw the support and cooperation. At the end, within a year, the British rule would come to an end and Swaraj, that means freedom, would be established. In order to start the non-cooperation movement, he asked them to move away from two main aspects. One was the first was the complete boycott of government jobs, legislative meetings, government educational institutions, honor foreign clothes and goods, and the other was to aspect include removal of untouchability, Hindu-Muslim unity, saying no to alcohol and propagation of Swadeshi and national education. Now, non-cooperation movement became widespread in 1921 to 22. A lot of students had left the schools and colleges, and there were many people who had left their advocacy. People who were elected the members of legislative assembly and local self-institution resigned from their job. Foreign clothes were listed at various places, and chakra or the spinning wheel took place. There were many institutions like Kashi Vidyapit, Bihar Vidyapit, Jaimamilya Islamia, Gujarat Vidyapit, etc. were established for educational institution. And Mahatma Gandhi was against violent movements. There was a group of farmers in Gorakhpur. They attacked the Chauri Chaura police station in Uttar Pradesh in 1922. The group lit up the police station in which 22 policemen got burnt alive and they died. Because of this incident, Gandhiji withdrew the non-cooperation movement immediately. Gandhiji concentrated on doing some creative work in remote rural areas after the non-cooperation movement ended. And this became a spread in Gandhian philosophy. And he also established main two political parties that were RSS and Communist Party. Now, if you think about the future of a country, there has been a lot of difference in the views of both the parties. Next was the Simon Commission 1927. Now, the British government from England sent a commission to India to see or to decide whether they had future in India. And it was under the chairmanship of leadership of Simon. Now, the commission had to decide with the political future of our country. It did make the Indians sad and upset, and all the political parties decided to boycott the Simon Commission. And when they arrived to India, the people welcomed them with protesting against them, and they shouted slogans like "Simon, go back." The next satyagraha was Bardoli Satyagraha. Now, in Bardoli Satyagraha, the British government increased the revenue of Bardoli region by 22%. And the farmers' request was not attended by the government. They decided to launch a satyagraha. Now, with Vallabhai Patel accepted the leadership of the satyagraha. Also, Ravi Shankar Maharaj and Jugatram Dhave extended their support to the satyagraha. The empowering speeches of Vallabhai Patel made the farmers fearless. And the success of Bardoli Satyagraha earned Vallabhai Patel the title as Sardar. And Sardar Vallabhai Patel was one of the significant role in negotiation during 1945 to 47. Next was the Nehru Report. Now, a conference having the representative of all the political parties of India met in Delhi in February 1928. Now, a committee was formed under the chairmanship of Motilal Nehru in order to frame our constitution. He prepared a constitutional draft which would be appreciated by all the parties, but this came to be known as Nehru Report, where the Muslim League did not accept it and thus it was rejected by the British government. Now, next was the resolution of the complete freedom. According to the Nehru Report, to bring out solution for the disputes that rose on the point of local self-government, a conference was held at Lahore by the Congress as the given duration of time had expired. Now, this conference was held under the chairmanship of Jawaharlal Nehru. There was no feedback or reaction from the government, so this conference, which was held on the bank of River Ravi, passed the resolution of complete freedom, that is Purna Swaraj. Later on, the Congress took the oath of freedom on 26 January 1930. In the memory of this day, the Indian Constitution was enforced on the day only, that is 26 January. So this was a chapter about the following of Gandhi, part 1.